The government is charging ahead with its plan to sell the land HS2 would have gone through. It was initially bought at a premium because they were in such a hurry, meaning selling it also in a hurry will incur a loss of over £100 million. So what's the rush?
Well, the rush is to stop there being any meaningful pledge in the Labour manifesto to reverse the decision. Starmer, I think, and Labour, policy thinkers have worked out that could actually be in Labour's favour, given the backlash against the net zero withdrawal and the admission since the party conference season that a lot of the local transport projects that were promised in lieu of HS2 were actually a load of nonsense. It was just hot air, that a lot of the projects are actually already there, like the Metro link in Manchester and so on. So the only way to stop them looking entirely ridiculous, getting rid of the HS2 pledge so quickly and allowing Starmer that space, is to make it physically impossible for him to commit. And by flogging it off really, really rapidly, it just becomes an impossible task. It can no longer be done.
Because instantly they will go, well, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, instantly. You can't buy that land back again.
Yeah. How are you going to pay for it?
Far too complicated. But it's important to say it's 100 million loss. But that's the stats just for between Birmingham and Crewe, which is basically about £200 million was spent on that stretch. So it's a 50% loss we're talking about here. 50% loss.
So there could be a lot more.
Yeah, the bit beyond all the way to Manchester is not part of this story that broke in the
Extraordinary.
Times.
So they're selling one bit to basically break the link, literally to make it impossible for Labour to continue.
I mean, it is a fire sale, as you said, and it really smacks of that sort of panic, really. What is the rush? It's that kind of we buy any car type thing. Like, we need to get rid of this now because we're broke. That's how it feels. So it's not a good look either for Sunak as he's preparing to go into an election. It looks like he simply can't manage the assets that the state holds.
I'll be very interested to see who the buyers are.
Yeah.
What are the ethics of a prime minister who did not lead his party to any election mandate? And I know people say, in this country, we don't elect the prime minister. But, I mean, if you think someone who led their party to an election has an equal democratic mandate as the third Johnny-come-lately to walk off the street, then you need to give yourself your head a shake. Sure. So what are the ethics of a prime minister who did not lead his party to an election mandate, breaking a manifesto pledge, and trying to tie a future elected PM's hands from reversing it? Why isn't there more of a stink about this?
Yeah, I think there are two things here. The first is, what are the ethics in deliberately backtracking on a cross-party consensus to build infrastructure for the future? Yeah. I think we're beyond political ethics. There is no mandate for that. Also, it's a really terrible political decision. A lot of this is conservative heartland, as mentioned. And less than a year out from election, all those people who feel it very personally that their land, their farmland, some of them their homes were forcibly taken from them by the state for a national project that's supposed to be for the benefit of the whole country. And now it's being flogged at a loss. There's an ethical question in that as well. How does that feel? Sure, it's a tiny percentage of the population.
Why don't we keep it? Why don't we build houses on it?
Absolutely. You won't be surprised to hear me say that. We're in the middle of a housing crisis. This is a large public asset that could be used to solve that problem, or at least play some part in it.
Okay,